first of all, the APM body of knowledge. Obviously, the APM BoK focus, it's not a method. It's not intended to be a method. APM call it a foundational knowledge resource. For me, the body of knowledge is about really calling out the breadth of the profession, rather than any depth on anything. So it's, you know, it's a thin layer of jam, if you like. Looking at project-based working across projects, programs and portfolios. I just wanted to say a few things about changes in the 7th edition that I think are sort of trends, and I'd be interested to have a conversation with you about whether any of this, you know, helps or not. But certainly in the 7th edition of the body of knowledge, we focused on the strategic context much more than I think APM had ever done before, and that certainly seems to be a real, you know, everywhere I would go now, it's absolutely accepted that project-based working needs to be benefits focused, and it's about change. You know, before it's about schedules and contracts. And there was a day when everybody would have been obsessed with schedules and contracts, or the like, you know, and that we've sort of elevated the positioning. But also, and I worked really closely with Darren Dalcher, as well as other authors, and indeed Sarah, who helped a lot on the people and behaviours topics on this. We wanted to somehow communicate that leaders have choices to make when they're thinking about how to organise to deliver major change. And we desperately wanted to try and sidestep the waterfall versus agile rhetoric. So we talked about you know, linear, iterative and hybrid approaches in there, and I'm quite encouraged that certainly I read and I hear people and read a lot about people talking about hybrid approaches and realizing that this you know, almost it felt for a while for me like a bit of a war. You know, it's like, oh, waterfall's dead, long live agile. Like, give over, you know. I just can't buy that. So it's much more subtle than that. So we really tried to sort of play with that in the 7th edition, and you know, more topics than ever, 64 discrete topics across that sort of strategy piece. And we've got a whole chapter on setting up for success, a people and behaviours chapter, and then a planning and control and deployment chapter, which gets into maybe some of the historical techniques.